Hello! This lesson is about magic realism, really magic realism in general, but we're going to also talk specifically about the impact that it has specifically in literature. So let's start by talking about magic and, what is it? So Merriam-Webster has three definitions of what magic is. First, they say that it's the use of means, such as charms or spells, believed to have supernatural power over natural forces. This is using magic rites or incantations. They also say that it's an extraordinary power or influence seemingly from a supernatural force. Something that seems to cast a spell, like an enchantment. And finally, it says it's the art of producing illusions by sleight of hand. So, what is magic realism then? If we have this understanding of what magic is, what does it mean if we're talking about magic realism? So, magic realism assumes that magic is part of the real world, the world that we actually live in. And it's achieved through combining unreal elements with a natural, realistic environment. So magic realism wants you to feel like you're in the real world, but that there's these crazy things that are happening around you in that real world. So let me just give you two quick examples, because I think that will help you make most sense of what this means. So first, let's talk about Doctor Strange. And quite frankly, any superhero movie really does inhabit lots of magic realism, where this takes place in the real world. Like, he lives in New York City. He's an actual doctor before he gets these magical abilities, right? And then through the real world, through New York, he's able to open portals and travel to different dimensions and different places and different times, right? But it stems in that these are events that are happening in the actual real world. Like, there are catastrophes happening in New York City every single superhero movie. Major buildings are destroyed in major cities, right? That's an example of magic realism. We could also talk about Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter talks about the human world, the muggles, and then wizards who have the magic. And muggles don't see all the things that wizards can see, and wizards can perform magic in the real world, right? So the whole idea here is that you feel like it's where you actually are, but these supernatural things have the ability to happen. So magic realism is the natural, realistic environment is just super detailed in order to absorb you as the reader into feeling familiar. Then something strange gets introduced in this very straightforward manner, like this could just happen to anybody. And from that, it suggests that we are limited in our understanding of the world. In other words, we only know what we know, but that there are other forces out there that we don't know or that we can't see or understand. When it comes to magic realism, we use what's called suspension of disbelief. This is where we temporarily allow ourselves to believe something that we know isn't true in order specifically to enjoy a work of fiction. We use this all the time when we read or when we watch just about anything. When we immerse ourselves in a work of fiction, we don't care that things don't make sense or that can't actually happen. We tend to put that aside for the time and allow ourselves to believe, for the time at least, that it's okay because we're invested in it. So what kind of impact does this have when it comes to literature, or what's its significance? Well, it blurs boundaries. Magic realism blends the ordinary and the extraordinary, blurring the lines between reality and fantasy. And this helps to add depth and complexity to storytelling. It also brings in cultural richness. It draws from cultural traditions and folklore, enriching literature with diverse perspectives and connecting readers to unique worldviews. Additionally, it explores the unexplained. It allows authors to explore complex themes and emotions by incorporating magical elements into everyday situations. This makes the extraordinary part of the ordinary world. So, thank you for learning about magic realism with me. Magic realism is in most of the fiction that we're subject to, and now you have a name to put to it, and you have a way to identify and analyze it.